Every single person goes through the same feeling. How did I get here? What went wrong? I wish this had gone differently. I learnt this process from my inner work yoga teachers, and it's stuck with me ever since. Since then, I've learnt a lot about somatic experiencing. So this is a combination of somatics, inner work, and yoga. It's a mindset that can benefit everyone, no matter what you've been through or what you're going through. And all you have to do is listen and follow along. So first, we'll start with a gentle vinyasa variation. Then we'll come down onto the mat for some more gentle seated poses and some inner work. Beginning in child's pose, just take a few rounds of breath, just coming into the moment, preparing yourself for this class. On an inhale, come up to tabletop. Root through your hands, tuck your toes, and press back as you exhale into down dog. Breathe deeply here, feeling a stretch through your back. Exhale, step your right foot to the top of your mat and come into low lunge. Inhale, arms up, and exhale out to goalposts, opening through your chest. Take a few rounds of breath. On an exhale, lower your hands back down to the mat. Inhale, lift your back knee and step back to down dog. Deep inhale. Exhale, repeating on the left foot up to the top of your mat, coming into low lunge. Inhale, arms up, and exhale to goalposts. Slide your shoulder blades down your back. On an exhale, lowering your hands back down to the mat. Inhale, lifting the back knee and stepping back into down dog. Deep inhale. Exhale, step both feet to the top of your mat. Inhale and slowly roll each vertebra as you come up to mountain pose. The earth here, feeling into all four corners of your feet. Inhale your arms overhead and exhale, forward fold. Bend your knees any amount and settle in for a few minutes. Consider the nature of the inhale and the exhale. The inhale is life-giving and constructive, whereas the exhale is life-taking. There's a loss of oxygen, a loss of nutrients, and yet together they allow life. One literally cannot exist without the other. This is the same within anything. There is always contrast. There's always constructive and destructive energy. And it's this contrast that allows us to experience, to grow, to find depth and meaning in what we go through. It's only through this relativity that we recognize the opposite. It's only through pain that we recognize joy. We tend to chase the positive, the constructive side of duality. But we forget that we can't have that constructive, positive energy without the contrast of the negative and the destructive. So when you look at the discomforts or the hardships in your life, notice how the more we avoid them or think that they shouldn't exist, the more suffering and fear they actually create. Now, I'm not saying that we need to embrace horrible things, but instead just take a moment to see them as a neutral part of being human. In the exact same way that we see an exhale. We don't judge an exhale. We don't think that we shouldn't have to exhale. So why do we think that we shouldn't have to experience challenges and discomfort and hard things in life? An exhale is just part of breathing. It's not a loss or a failure. It's just necessary. And to really feel the joy, the relief, the life-giving power of an inhale, we also have to allow the exhale. Think about a time when you had to hold your breath for something. And that moment that you finally get to inhale again and take in breath and take in life, it feels so much sweeter if it is not guaranteed. It feels so much sweeter when we can really appreciate the life-giving power of the positive inhale, because we have just experienced the life-taking power of an exhale, of holding our breath. So inhale and roll again each vertebra up and come up to standing. Exhale, forward fold, and inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, press your hands to the mat and step back into downward dog. Maybe just noticing now what the exhales and inhales feel like and what they represent in all of life. And when you're ready, slowly lowering your knees down onto the mat and just come into a comfortable seated position, whatever that may be for you. So firstly, we need to presence the part of us that feels like it should be elsewhere, that feels like there is something wrong, that there has been a mistake. By helping this part of us feel seen and heard, it kind of unsticks the glue and creates space for something new. We can't just immediately go in and invalidate our pain and our suffering and our discomfort and how challenging life can be. So we need to first just presence those feelings and allow them space so that there's more room to experience the other side of the coin. So just starting by taking some deep breaths all the way down into your belly. Spend as much time here as you need. And taking particular notice of how you feel after these deep belly breaths. What happens in your body? Now bringing to mind an event or a scenario in your life that you feel shouldn't have happened, or maybe you wish had happened differently. This could be past, it could be happening right now, or it could be something that you imagine happening in the future. Notice if there are any areas of particular tension or stress that come up with this thought. You might feel an activation or constriction of some kind. If there are multiple areas of sensation coming to your awareness, just choose one for now. Once you've identified an area of activation, very slowly bring your breath into that part of your body. Maybe also bring your hand or a soft object like a pillow and put it on that part of your body just to provide a little bit of pressure. And notice how that part of you responds to the pressure. Does it relax a little, or does it become more activated? There's no right or wrong. This exercise is simply to build understanding and awareness of what's going on in your body. Once you've connected with that sensation, start to get curious and learn about it. Does it move? What color or shape or texture is it? Does it have a sound? Express any of this through movement or sound or breath or whatever feels good. If it wants to come up, just let it come up. Also noticing if there's a desire to change or get rid of the sensation. And notice what that feels like in your body too. Notice if the urge to fix or change creates more tension or less. We're just practicing tracking the sensation without getting involved in it. Just seeing it as our animal bodies preparing for or reliving a sense of threat. In this case, the threat is how you wanted your life to go. And to our animal bodies, when life doesn't go the way we want them to, that is actually threatening to our safety, to our sense of security. So just honoring how our bodies are experiencing this. Rather than trying to analyze or understand the sensations or make sense of them, actually just allowing them to just exist as the chemical, physiological, biological responses that our bodies are meant to perform. Just witnessing them with our awareness as nothing more than our animal body's reaction. Take a second to recenter yourself. Maybe do a little bit of wiggling, some hip circles or windshield wipers, or just kind of move in whatever way your body wants to. And when you're ready, come onto your knees. Start taking some gentle, slow, intentional cat-cows. Inhale, lift through the chest, and exhale, rounding down. Just keep going at your own pace. The more neutral we can be about the good and the bad in our lives, the more easeful, graceful, and even-minded we start to feel. Clinging to things only being good will always bring suffering. It feeds the idea that uncomfortable things shouldn't be happening, when in reality, shifts, changes, transitions, and discomfort are unavoidable. So the goal is never to avoid uncomfortable or unwanted things. It's more to understand them, to see their beauty, to see their place. Just like the exhale, to notice what benefits they offer. Noticing if you've tried to speed up your movements, if a part of you wants to rush, and just see how it feels to slow back down. Maybe even slow down by half, and just see how that feels. What we perceive as negative things happening to us is often actually beneficial and necessary. Even though we may not understand them at the time, and there could be a lot of pain at the time, the only thing we truly need to release is the judgment that it's wrong in the first place. We can still honor how painful something is without making it wrong. We can have compassion for what we're going through or what we've been through, while still acknowledging that it must be happening for some reason. There's some lesson, some strength, some wisdom to be gained, even if we can't see it right now. And that does not lessen the pain that we're experiencing. Maybe just switching it up a little and again, allowing your body to move however it wants to. Circles, waves, stretches, just do whatever feels good. So often we're focused on where we want to go, what we want to happen, what we think we should happen, that we rarely take a moment to pause and see how far we've already come. How far we've gotten because of what we've been through. Things that we never could have predicted, never could have planned, actually turning out to be 100% necessary to the person that we are today. Take a few more rounds, then in your own time, just come back to neutral. Roll back into a seated position, bringing the soles of your feet together for bound angle pose. Inhale and lengthen your spine. Exhale and hinge at your hips, keeping your spine straight, and come forward any amount. Once you're about halfway folded, you can release completely over your legs if you want to. Find a comfortable enough position that you can stay in for a little while, and breathe deeply. Take a moment to reflect on things in your life that were challenging and uncomfortable at the time, but have made you who you are today. That have shaped you so deeply that you don't know who you'd be if they didn't happen. And how maybe, just maybe, there was a reason all along. All the pain and discomfort wasn't for nothing. Just spend a moment reflecting and feeling what that brings up for you. Come back into a comfortable position. Place your hands on your body, just wherever is calling for some support. If your eyes were closed, open them now and just take a look very slowly around the room, just noticing that you're safe right now. At the end of the day, we can't control what happens to us. Otherwise, nothing bad would ever happen to us. We can control our capacity to process and digest what happens to us. And we spend so much time focusing on the bad and the should not. We need to also give our system some space to actually integrate the lessons and the wisdom as well. Not to dismiss the pain and suffering that we experience, but to allow us to move through current pains and sufferings with more resilience. Because the more that we're able to process and digest what life throws at us, the more that we can go through life with this deeper understanding that even though there is pain, there is challenges, there is also so much to be gained, so much to be learnt. Just taking a few moments here, allowing whatever's come up for you in this class to just kind of settle into your body, feeling the air on your skin, feeling the ground beneath you. And when you're ready, slowly come to lay on your back. Inhale and hug both knees into your chest, and exhale, relax completely. Nothing has ever actually been off course. Everything has actually been perfectly aligned all along. And remembering it's okay to exhale. Next time something negative is happening or you feel like something shouldn't be happening, remember it's just an exhale, just a part of life. And it has a purpose more than just pain and discomfort. These exhales, these challenges, they are what allows us to keep living just as much as an inhale, just as much as the positive and the joy. They're equally necessary and just a part of life.